Hello and welcome back to the second chapter of Fire Emblem 6, The Binding Blade. Today we're going to be taking on Chapter 2, The Princess of Bern. There's a small village on the border of Foray and Bern. Here was where Roy was to meet the mercenary band that Eliwood had hired for him. Just east of the village is a small castle occupied by Bern's forces. When Roy had reached the village, the castle was in a chaotic state. Roy had yet to learn that the confusion going on in the castle was going to cause turbulence all over Alib. Chapter 2, The Princess of Bern. What I'm asking is where the princess is.
Yes, Captain Milady. I'm certain she was in her room this morning.
I've already heard that. What I want to know is where the princess is at this moment.
She's,
We're almost going into a head-on war with Lycia. What if something happens to the princess? Can you take responsibility? I never should have let Her Highness go down to the border in the first place. I will return to Bern and inform the king about this matter. I'll try not to make it into a panic, so you must find the princess as soon as possible.
Yes, ma'am. Is Princess Guinevere still with us?
Yes, sir. She's under constant monitoring in the basement room.
Good. Don't let her escape.
Sir, are you sure this is a good idea?
Don't worry. Bern has plenty of enemies. The younger sister of King Zephyl will be sure to get a hefty amount of money by turning her into one of their foes. We're not going to make it anywhere by serving our country anyways, so we're better off thinking of ways to make money fast, no?
Yes, of course, sir. But there is one little problem with that plan.
What do you mean?
I just received a report that it seems that Princess Guinevere's servant has escaped.
What? You fool! Why didn't you say so earlier? Go search for her immediately. Don't let her get away.
Master Roy, it's around here somewhere. This is where we're supposed to meet the mercenary band? Yes, though it seems they aren't here yet. Oh wait, I can see somebody running this way. Watch out! Oh, excuse me. I was in a hurry. No, it's alright. I'm fine, but are you okay? Yes, I'm fine. Thank you. It's good that you're not hurt. You're from Lycia, are you not? Yes, I am the son of the Marquess of Foray. Oh, dear God, I thank you for your guidance. What? Please, could you help me rescue my mistress? What happened? My mistress and I were traveling to meet someone from the Lycia Alliance. However, while we were passing through here, we fell into a trap set by the Rude, the lord of the castle just east of here. We were captured. Master Roy! We must not get into unnecessary entanglements with Bern now. But we can't neglect a person who has come to meet someone from the Alliance. But it isn't smart to charge into enemy fields either. There they are. Hey guys, over here, get the servant girl. It doesn't matter whether she's dead or alive. Oh no. Well, Merlinus, they attacked first. We have to fight, don't we? You won't pay heed of me, now will you? I guess I can be witness to how much you've learned in Ostia. Alright, we're going to charge the castle. Miss Ellen, can you hide someplace safe? Or, I'm sorry, you can hide someplace safe. No, I will accompany you. I cannot fight, but I can heal wounded allies. Oh, but I'm the one that got you tangled up in this mess. Please, let me be of some help. Okay, but please, don't strain yourself. Yes, thank you for your consideration. Alright, and we have a new unit. We have Ellen. Ellen is a sister. She's also known as, her class is also known as a cleric in other games. I'm not sure if this is translation or not, but she's unable to fight, as she said. She cannot deal any damage, and she's actually very frail. She has 0 defense, so enemies will deal full damage to her, and she also has relatively low speed. Well, her speed's not awful, but she doesn't have a lot of dodging capabilities either. Mainly what she can do, though, is she can heal allies with her heal staff. And a heal staff has the ability to recover a set amount of health plus their magic stat. And if I remember correctly, it is 10 health plus magic for heal, and there's other staffs later on that heal different amounts. She will be getting used heavily. I really enjoy having healers, and Ellen is one of my favorite in this game. Especially because you get her early. They are very hard to level up, but very worth it in the end if you can manage to do it. Merlinus is a transporter. Merlinus is a unique unit. He's the only one that's like this, and in fact, he's the only one like this in Fire Emblem history as far as I'm aware. He also appears in the 7th game that follows Elwood and Lynn and Hector. However, he has a tent in that game instead where he cannot move. In this game, he has a carriage where he can. He is your storage, so for example, if I take Marcus and I want to store the silver lance because no one else besides him can use it and I don't want its uses being used up, I just put it right into storage. And now it's in this storage and he can hold a lot of items. I can do the same thing with Wolt. I can deposit his vulnerary and his iron bow since I won't be using him. And additionally, I could get things out of there if I so chose to. I'm going to be moving Merlinus up here. And I'm going to take a look at the shop with Ellen for this turn. Okay, it just has vulneraries. Okay, so we have soldiers here. Soldiers are very similar to brigands in the way that they have relatively low stats all around. Brigands have somewhat high attack, but soldiers are low stats all the way around, and they wield lances. They're the usual foot soldiers. They're the weakest enemies in this game, and they're often scattered all throughout maps and like every single chapter. However, since they wield lances, Roy has a poor matchup against them. He loses out his hit rate. But Cavaliers like Lance and Alan take advantage of that by wielding a lance and having a neutral fight. So neither side loses or gains accuracy or damage. So with Lance and Alan both having access to 2 different weapons, being the sword and the lance, they can get either even or advantageous matchups with every unit. If there's a sword unit, they use their lance, and if there's an axe unit, they use their sword, and if there's a lance unit, they use their lance again to make even. As far as mechanics go, as you can see, the game kind of does some calculations for you. It'll take for attack, this is the amount of damage you'll deal, but then this number is the enemy's defense is subtracted from this number to get the actual damage dealt. And this number is just a combination of the power of the weapon and the unit's strength. So in this case, the Iron Sword has 5 power, and Roy has 6 strength, so that gives you 11 attack. Hit is a little more complicated. It's determined primarily through skill, and it also improves crit rate. It's a much more complicated calculation, and I actually don't know the specifics of it. However, this is your general hit total. It also takes from the weapon's base hit, and then does the calculation. So, like, if I were to not have this if I were to have this rapier equipped instead, I would instead have 108 instead of 98 for hit. And then hit is taken and has the enemy's avoid subtracted from it. So if Roy were to be able to attack himself, quote unquote, he would have a 78% chance, or a 77% chance to hit himself, barring any weapon differences. Crit is also the chance, or is the chance to do triple damage by landing a critical hit, and again, it is also determined by the skill stat. Avoid, I believe, is determined by luck. Yes. And there's also a critical reduction, which is a hidden stat, but it basically lowers the enemies of critical hit rate against you. So having a high luck stat is very good, which is something that Ellen actually excels at, is luck, which is why she has 24 avoid and has a good chance of not being crit, whereas enemies like, or characters like Lance don't. So that is the general breakdown of the units. We are going to have Roy fight this guy really quick to weaken him up and potentially be able to show off Ellen's healing ability. And now we'll have Ellen heal up Roy. And as you can see, she healed him for the remainder of his missing health, and she gained 11 experience. Healers gain 11 experience when they heal, period. It doesn't matter if they heal 20 health or if they heal 1 health. They'll get 11 experience, and if I didn't explain it already, which I actually don't think I did, a character levels up whenever they hit 100 experience, period. The experience calculation is very complicated in the background, but an amount is given based on what level you are in comparison to the enemy's level, in addition to their class and other such factors. But generally, the higher level your unit is, the less experience they'll receive from an enemy, if they are a higher level than the enemy as well. Like, for example, Marcus, who's a second class, would only be getting like 3 experience from killing one of these enemies, whereas his allies get anywhere from 15 to 30. Now, that is a hand axe. That is similar to the javelin, but it's the axe version. Sorry, I've got other things to explain. They should be around here somewhere. Fanny, could you go check and see if the Foray army is around here? Sure. Deke, who's our client this time? The Foray family. One of the nobles of Lycia. The Marquess's son is going to join the Lycia Alliance. So we're up against Bern. That's what it looks like. A worthy opponent. Time to show some skill, eh?
Bern. This one's gonna be tough. Better be careful.
I think I found them, but it looks like they're fighting somebody down there.
What? A battle's already started. We better hurry.
Real quick, I need to change the text speed. I keep forgetting to do it, and I would like it to be faster. And I'll up the game speed as well. And there's a lot of things we could change. We could change the window color, but I'm actually pretty fond of the normal blue. Now, we have 4 new units here. 2 of which are the same class. We have fighters, which are very similar to brigands, except they are usually on the side, like on the quote-unquote good guy side, the side you play as, and they generally have better skill and speed than the brigands do, but they usually have less raw strength while still having a lot of it. This is Ward, and Ward is also accompanied by Lot. Now, Ward is all focused on attack as much as possible. Strength, he's similar to Lance and Alan, this pair is, whereas they both specialize in either strength or skill and speed. In this case, Lot specializes in skill and speed while still having high strength, but Ward has much higher strength. Also, Lot has more, whereas Ward has more luck. I'm sorry. They each are carrying weapons. They have iron axes, which are normal, what we've seen. And Ward also has a hammer, Hammers are good against knights, so people in heavy armor, and they have that bonus damage. However, they have really low hit rate, and they are really heavy. Now, a weight of a weapon is impacts the unit's speed when they're attacking. For example, this sword weighs 5, as you can see in the top right, and how weight is determined, how much it subtracts, is the unit's constitution is subtracted from the weight of the weapon, and if that number is a non-zero number after that point, or non-negative, I guess. So, for example, this is a negative number for Roy because his constitution is higher than the sword, so he's not weighed down at all. But if it is weighed down, so for example, okay, I'm sorry, I gotta find somebody with a lower constitution. Here we go. All right. So, for example, if Lot were to use a steel axe with a weight of 15, you'd subtract his constitution from the 15 weight and end up with 3, and then you'd subtract that 3 from his speed, and that's his effective speed with the weapon. So with an effective speed of 4, that's the number he would be comparing to the enemies. Now, speed determines whether or not you can hit once or twice. The enemies also have the same calculation, so for example, this enemy actually has an effective speed of 0 with his lance on, because the lance lowers his speed by 2 due to his constitution, putting him at a net 0, and then when you do an attack, it takes your your net speed versus their net speed, and if one is 4 higher than the other, the character with the higher speed will attack twice. The golden number is 4. So for example, with an iron axe, Lot will be able to hit this guy twice, but with the hammer, since it slows him down, he won't. Additionally, the hammer has a really low accuracy of a hit of 45 versus 65. Axes generally have low hit, but that's enough for them. We have Deke, which is a mercenary. Deke is the leader of this mercenary band, and he is relatively strong. He's a level 5 mercenary, so he's a little bit higher level than the rest of our troops. But as you can see, mercenaries have very high skill and speed, as well as a respectable strength. And he comes with an iron blade, which is effectively a very heavy and strong version of an iron sword. It has a lot more weight and a lot less hit, but a lot more power. And with Deke's constitution, he is actually able to wield both, as though that weren't any difference. However, he suffers a lot in the hit department from that. But that's a mercenary. And then we have Fanny, who's our first Pegasus Knight. Pegasus Knights are very similar to Cavaliers, except they can only wield lances. They're almost exclusively female, except for the last game that came out. We won't get into that. And they don't have a lot of strength, but they are very fast, have relatively respectable skill, have high resistance, which is dealing with magic attacks, which we haven't gotten to yet, and have an incredible move speed of 7. They can fly over terrain, so she can fly on this mountain and land here, which mountains peaks give really good defensive opportunities with an avoid boost of 40. She can fly great distances. She's very good at carrying people, and additionally, she's only level 1 at this point. Level 1 with a speed stat of 12. So they are very fast. They almost always double. But they do suffer from low constitution. Now their aid is what allows them to pick people up. In later games, constitution was incorporated into that, but nowadays, or in this one, it's not. So she can actually only wield this slim lance to not get a negative. An iron lance would slow her down. And with all that explanation out of the way, we're actually going to play the game. Lance is going to move forward onto this fort, get some defensive bonuses, and take out one of these guys. We will be using 3 of the 4 new units that showed up. We will be using Fanny, because I'm a very big fan of Pegasus Knights. They're a really fun unit to use. I really enjoy having them on the team. We'll be using... let's do this. Yeah, we'll be using Fanny, we'll be using Deke, and we will be using Lot. I prefer having higher speed on my fighters because they generally just have a high strength stat regardless. So it's nice to level that up, like have them level up with good growths in strength or in speed to make sure that they double, and also to give them a high hit rate with skill as well. We're gonna have Roy finish off this guy, and provided that this last enemy unit over here doesn't have a hand axe, which he doesn't, I'm gonna try to move. Yep, and we will heal up Lance. Now, ideally, if you're gonna be using a healer and you have access to more heal staffs, which we will shortly, you want to try to keep them healing almost every single turn. It's at least ideally, because you want to keep having them gain experience. Oh, you really saved us. If those people got into our village, I don't know what would have happened to this precious sword. I was really scared. And then we got an Armor Slayer. Now, the Armor Slayer... Oop, missed it. The Armor Slayer is similar to the Hammer, but it's for swords, and it has a much higher hit rate, but also does not have quite the power that the Hammer does, but it's a very good weapon. It also, as you can see, only has 18 uses on it, so that is something to keep in mind. But I will be taking that, and I will eventually get that to the rest of the crew, but I'm not in any real rush in that regard. So now with this group, we're going to have... We gotta measure out people's spaces. Now, if she doesn't kill off this guy, it may just be better off throwing a javelin. Yeah, let's just throw a javelin. Yeah. So as you can see, even though the javelin weighs her down heavily, she's still fast enough to take out hit the soldier twice. Actually, her constitution makes it so she's able to do it just barely. She actually has an effective speed of 5 with the javelin. And then we will have Deke run back, and I want Lot to be the one that's going forward. And we'll just take a chuck with the hand axe. Now I'm going to show off another little technique that you can use when playing this game, or these games in general. There's something... Oh, wrong person. Something that I call trade equipping. You can purposely have them trade with themselves when you approach them with another unit, and switch what item they have equipped. So since I used the hand axe to hit that guy, that was my next item equipped, but I don't want to keep using the hand axe because the hand axe has a low hit, has low uses, and it's generally something I'd like to keep a hold of anytime I'm not using it. I switched it over so that he had the iron axe equipped, and now I can just trade, and if you look, he now has the iron axe equipped. And you can do that with anybody. So it's a useful little technique. That's going to be that turn. I'm sorry if I'm a bit scatterbrained. There's a lot of stuff to explain, and still somewhat new to Let's Playing. Alright. So Lance should be able to double this guy. And down goes the fighter. And see how Thani can be very useful. She's still level 1 and she's handling enemies no problem. However, there is one thing we have to keep an eye out for. Archers. Archers have the super effect, like innate ability, any ranged weapons with bows, have the innate ability to do triple damage to Pegasus Knights. For example, you can see here, that archer would shoot Thani for 16 damage. Whereas his actual attack is only 10. And actually doing quick math, I can tell you that 16... Oh! Really? Really? That's disgusting. Okay, apparently critical, super effective damage is ×4 in this game? Which is really high. Like, grossly high. We're actually going to bring Deke back now. They got through that faster than I had expected. And I think we're going to just have Lot step up here and take care of this soldier. And we just have to be careful to keep Fanny out of the range of that archer until we can deal with him with another unit, because I don't believe that she can handle him on her own. However, if I go right here, let me check his move. Oh, whoops. How much movement does he have? He has movement of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait, really? That's concerning. We're gonna actually have to have Fanny fall back for a minute. I can't attack this guy. So we'll instead switch to our Slim Lance and just wait there. And like I said, it's ideal to have your healer healing as often as possible so that they become stronger. Also, when you get them to a high enough level, you can class change them, and then they gain the ability to cast light magic, which lets them actually fight while still functioning as a healer. It's a very useful skill for them to have. And we found an armory here, so we're going to stock up on a bit of equipment that we're going to need later on, just because people's weapons break, and we want to have some backups. And now we're good. And I will put the rest of that in storage in a minute. Now, that's going to be the end of our turn. And as you can see, forts also heal characters when they stand on them. They don't heal as much as the gate does, but they do heal. Actually, luckily, Fanny dodged that first attack, so we aren't too bad on health. Oh, there's a crit. Okay, that was a critical hit. Critical hits deal triple damage, and they automatically hit. I don't know if it's that critical hits are calculated after hit rates are calculated, or if critical hits automatically hit. I'm not sure which way that is. If someone could inform me, that would be great, actually. So, yeah, it's a very good thing that Fanny dodged that first attack. Otherwise, I might have just misplayed and lost a character already and had to restart this chapter. I will be playing through with a 0 death run. That means anytime a character dies, I will be restarting the chapter and doing it. Oh, man, I am looking rough at the moment. I will be restarting the chapter and going again from the start. This guy needs to die. Let's get rid of this archer so that I can not worry about Fanny being shot. And then I gotta do some cleanup and switch out a crew. You have a javelin. Fanny has 5 health. You have 10 health. You can reach him. All right, you kill him. Yeah, you kill him. And sorry, there are some times where I'll be talking to myself and kind of strategizing, because it is a strategy game. You have to think about it, and it's just a habit. How much damage can you do? You can do 7. I might be better off just having... Yeah. And we'll use an iron sword. And the reason I did that was for hit rate and to conserve usage on the... Iron Blade. Sorry. And we're going to heal up Fanny with Ellen. And that should be pretty close to full. Yeah, 16 health for her. And Fanny's still level 1, actually. I thought she would have leveled up by now. And then next turn, we will have Ellen heal up Lot. And then they're both ready to go back into battle. And this is why healers are important. It lets you save your character's turn, because normally you'd have to use vulneraries to heal up. That's a consumable item. They take up a lot of space in a character's inventory. And they are still usually carried as a backup in case the healer's nowhere around, but it also takes that unit's turn. And when you're trying to kill off a bunch of enemies that are swarming you, it's best to try to deal with them quickly. And if you have to take turns out of your own unit's actions to deal with the enemies that are coming and getting more and more numerous, it's really difficult to manage. Whereas instead, having a healer that can dedicate their turn to healing people is far more useful, especially when the healer gets to the point they can heal a lot more than a vulnerary would have anyways. Like, Ellen already heals 1 point more, but later on when her magic stat increases or she gets a different different level of heal staff, that number will go up drastically. However, now with that archer gone, we only have one more to deal with. So we can actually move Fanny a bit more freely now. And seeing that I actually want that Armor Slayer, we're going to do that, and we're going to start running Marcus, who has a incredible move speed of 8 that way. And we're just going to take Ward back so he's out of the way. Oh, should have talked to him. I'll do it with Deke instead. Are you Roy of the Foray family? Who are you? I'm Deke. I think you've heard the news from an old guy named Merlinus. So you're the leader of the mercenary band. It's just a little group, really. I'm sorry we're late. I didn't think that a battle was already going on. Well, we have our issues. No. We're actually excited I'm sorry, I missed that one. Actually, everyone's all excited and saying that they can show off their skills already. Thank you. That is encouraging to hear. Alright then, let's get this battle over with, shall we? And so now we're going to take this effective distance of this guy, and we're going to actually bait him out with Lance with an iron sword equipped. And that'll be our turn. And so since Lance has over 100%, or over 100 hit when doing the calculation with the enemy is a void, he has a 100% chance to hit. He cannot miss. As you can see, he has a 102 hit, whereas the enemy has a... Wait a minute. Oh, okay. So he has 102 hit with the sword. The enemy has 10 avoid, but his 10 avoid is canceled out by the weapon triangle. Because the weapon triangle gives the enemy, or gives Lance an extra 10% chance to hit, and gives the enemy an extra, or takes away 10% from the enemy's hit. So it's a 20% net change of hit throughout the matchup, and 2 net change of damage, because the enemy's damage is also reduced by 1 for this. For example, so this is how the weapon triangle can make up for... Oh wait, is it 2? Oh, is the weapon triangle 2 damage in this game? Really? The weapon triangle is really strong in this game then. Okay. So the weapon triangle is 2 difference in this game, which is kind of crazy. So weapon triangle is immensely important in this game. So always keep in mind it's sword beats axes, axes beat lance, and lance beats sword. And now we're going to come in with Fanny and pick off this kill, and see how she has a low hit rate because she's fighting against a weapon triangle. However, her avoid is really high. Man, I missed 274s. I don't know how I feel about that. We're just going to take a turn to heal up Lot again, and we'll see who this guy wants to attack. If he wants to attack Fanny again, that's okay with me. I don't really want to push the offensive yet until I am done healing up. Yeah, he's gonna take the forest though. There we go, Fanny landed that one. She's gonna need healed up, but I can run Ellen forward and heal her. And here's a level up for her. And as you can see, she leveled up her speed and her luck. Oh no. Okay, he can't deal enough to kill her. That's good. I didn't anticipate him being able to reach her. Luckily, the weapon triangle came in handy there and lowered his hit a lot. We may be able to finish this guy off with her. We can. Can Ellen reach her? She can't. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to do... I really want to get Fanny some experience because Fanny is really good if you can get her leveled up. But I think she needs some healing first. But there's not really anything else she's going to be able to fight. So we're actually just going to have her finish off this guy. She can't possibly die from this encounter. And then we'll heal her up afterwards. Next turn. And she dodged the attack anyway, so she's still doing okay. Now, I'm pretty sure she's really the only one on the team that would have been able to double that enemy. due to her ridiculous speed. So that's good. I forgot to move Marcus last turn, I think. But I really need to get that Armor Slayer up there. And we're going to push forward with the Cavaliers and bait out these guys. And we're going to equip their swords because there's only an axe and a sword user left. Or an axe and a bow user left. So we just want to bait them out. And we'll move Roy forward. And that's almost the end of this chapter. Just a little bit left. And Lance is only able to single that guy, so he must have a little higher speed. So let's have Ellen heal up Fanny. I've seen her name in other translations as Shauna and other things, but Fanny's the one I usually see. So I'm not sure what her official name is. A lot of their names are usually the same, but she is one of the few people that are subject to translation. Let me see if I can pick off this archer. Yes, I can. And Lance will... Oh, Lance missed. Shoot. Can Fanny kill this guy if she fights him with a slim lance? Just short. What if... What if I do this? What if I take your Iron Lance, stand right there, and then I trade with you to take the Iron Lance. Haha! I can do that. And then hopefully these will both hit. Okay, they both do. And then I will have Alan run up and finish off that archer. And I'll have him use his sword to ensure that he has a better chance to hit. Oh, gotta use the javelin. That sucks. But also, this guy will be trapped in. So that's okay. And yeah, that'll work. There we go. Okay. So now we're gonna move Marcus up again and push forward with the rest of the group. And now this guy's gonna take a shot.
Damn. Just when I thought the luck was with me.
And so now you can see that Alan is actually incapable of dealing damage to this enemy due to his massive defense stat. He has a defense stat of 10, which, with addition of the weapon triangle and the gates defense of 3, oh, I'm sorry, just the gates defense of 3, Alan is unable to deal any damage. And as you can see, Lance is also unable. So, in contrast, with a hand axe, Lot is able to deal damage, but nowhere near as much as I'd like. So we're going to move Lot here. Move up with her. Heal Fanny to get experience for Ellen. And we are 1 heal away from level up. Move Roy up. We may not need the Armor Slayer, but we will see. And the main reason I haven't really been using Deke is that Deke is already a really high level and doesn't really need the experience yet. And now we are going to hand off the Armor Slayer to Roy. And see what Roy can do with the Armor Slayer. So with the Armor Slayer, he can hit for 15. With the Rapier, he can hit for 6 twice. In both cases, he gets hit for 10. He has a much higher hit rate with the Rapier, but honestly, I really like to save the Rapier's hits as much as possible. Now, our other options are we can try using an Iron Axe for 3 twice at 64 accuracy. I can use a Steel Axe for 6 with 49 accuracy, or I can go for a Hammer with 44 accuracy for 21 damage. This is what I'm going to be going for, because a miss does not consume a usage of an item, and the enemy is also very unlikely to hit me, and I can additionally take at least 2 hits. So what my plan is to deal a little bit of damage with this and finish him up with Roy. And we hit. So actually, we can do a bit of rescue shenanigans and actually finish this round. So by moving Lot out of the way, I can get Roy in there and let Roy make an attack with the Armor Slayer or the Rapier. We're going to go for the Armor Slayer because we could still rescue Roy if it goes south. But it doesn't. We get the kill. I usually like to give Roy the final kill of the area as much as possible due to the fact that he's really hard to use throughout chapters, especially later on. The sooner you get Roy leveled up, the better, and he really needs to get some better stats than straight garbage that he's been getting. My level ups have been very bad. Shoot. This way. And we'll just heal up to get the level, and we'll heal up one more time at the beginning of the turn, and that'll be the end of the chapter. Maybe Ellen can get some stats. She got a magic and a resistance. That's not bad. So now she'll heal for 12 instead. And with that, we'll heal up Lance for 1 more point. And finish up the chapter. Master Roy, we have rescued a lady trapped in the basement. That must be Ellen's mistress. Have her come here. Yes, my lord. Your Highness. Ellen. Oh, are you all right? I never thought you would do such a brave thing for me. You had me worried, Ellen. I wanted to rescue you, no matter what, so... It is fine, Ellen. Thanks to you, I am safe now. I am in your debt. May I ask your name? I am Roy, son of Eliwood, the Marquess of Foray. Yes, and I am. Your Highness, are you sure? It is all right, Ellen. My name is... Guinevere. Guinevere? That's impossible. That's the name of the Princess of Bern. Yes, that is who I am. What? Do you plan on attacking us now? Merlinus, wait a second. I beg your pardon, Lord Roy, but... I want to speak with her. Give me some time, will you? Humph, if Master Roy says so. You are indeed Princess Guinevere from Bern. Yes, I am not sure if you will believe me, however. Even if you are not the Princess of Bern, I can tell from your actions and your dress that you are certainly someone of high standing, social status. But if you are indeed Princess Guinevere, something doesn't seem right. Ellen told me that you are intended to meet someone from the Lycia Alliance. Yes, that is correct. Why, if you are the Princess of Bern? I want to find a peaceful way of ending the war. I figured if I could speak to someone from Lycia, I could find some solution. Your brother started this war. Is it in your power to stop it? I certainly wish to stop it. No, it must be stopped. I see. Anyway, will you come with us to meet the Lycia Alliance army? I want to meet Lord Hector and see what he thinks about this matter. Honestly? You will take me? Yes, if there's a possibility to avoid the bloodshed and end this war, then I believe that we must try it, no matter how small the chance. Thank you! Thank you, truly. And with that, Chapter 2 has come to an end. Next time, we'll be taking on Chapter 3. And I'll see you guys then.